Hey everybody, alright, this review is going to be on the Precision Sensors Profinder 5000 stud finder that I just picked up at Costco today for $34.99. Now this is the exact same model. This is a blue case. It's the exact same model as the Franklin Pro Sensor 710, which is a yellow case. Costco's got their own deal, obviously, so they're making this in a blue case for Costco. So I'm going to be reviewing this. I'll do a really quick unboxing of this thing. It comes with the 2 batteries, and it is supposed to be a very good unit. Let me show you the back of the box, just for people who care about it, who haven't purchased this yet. I'll scan down just so you can read some of, hopefully you can read some of what it says. It's in different languages, but we'll do a really quick scan over here. It's supposed to be an incredibly good and accurate tool. I have another stud finder scanner that goes to 3/4 of an inch in the wall, and this one ideally will go much deeper, as the instructions over here say. I'm going to go down to the specs over there. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a review of, sorry about the incredible lighting and floppy camera around here. I'm going to be doing a review of this. I'm also going to be doing a review of this unit that I have. That the nice thing about this unit is it has a deep scan and a regular scan. The stud finder, this unit is always supposedly running in deep scan. This has a deep scan. This also has a metal scan. It's supposed to detect metal in the wall, maybe ducting or something like that. And it's also supposed to detect AC. It's got an AC only mode, but it will detect AC all the time in any of the modes. And the third one that I'm going to be doing, which is kind of wimpy, but it's something that's been around for like a couple thousand years. And this is a stud finder. It's really just a cheapy magnet. So I'm going to be doing a review on all 3 of these things, and I'll move around the wall and see what I come up with. The cool thing about this unit is it's got a whole bunch of sensors. So it should be able to detect multiple studs. If you've got 2 studs next to each other, it should be able to detect it. This one works on density in the wall. I don't know if this is working on density or if this is working on trying to detect metal nails in the wall. This thing is supposed to be an incredibly good unit that's very accurate and stable. This thing, as you're going to see when I do the test, is an absolute nightmare, because half the time it says restart, restart, restart at a different location, and it's very difficult. And this little guy over here, I don't know what in the world this thing is for. I don't know how they ever used it, but we're going to do all 3. And the camera is going to be moving around a lot because I can't really do this with a tripod, and I don't have a camera person. So, with that, hang in there, and here goes the review. Alright, here we go. I'm going to use the Zircon first, and let's just see what this thing does. I'm going to press the button on the side. I'm going to move it around. Okay, that is showing that I'm at a stud, and as I move, it should show the center, and it should, okay, that's supposed to be the center. So I'm going to shut off the camera so I can put a piece of tape over there. Alright, I decided I should put this on a tripod anyway, otherwise this review is going to be a nightmare. So let's try that again. I put this blue piece of tape over here where it showed that there was a stud. I'm going to press on the side button, and let's see if that applies again. You're not going to be able to see exactly what the display says because I've got it on the tripod. But let's see if this really works again. That there is a stud. Okay, it's starting to show that there is a stud over there. Sorry, I pressed the button wrong. Let's slide over, and let's see what it says. Okay, It is confirming. Interesting. All right, I want to get the camera over here because I want you to be able to see this now. That's the whole idea of this video. The whole idea of this video is to show you what's going on here. So let's get this thing going again, and you can see where I've got the blue tape over there marked where the stud is. I'm going to squeeze the button again. And let's slide across. That piece of tape is on an angle a little bit. But now it's showing that the center is over here, whereas before it showed it was over here. So something's way off here. So let me try, make sure that I've got the camera showing all of this. Let's try this again for a third time. And it's possible that the studs are different inside the wall. Maybe they located it differently. See that light over there? I don't know if you can see it flickering. It says AC alert, which means that there's AC somewhere behind this wall. Now it's showing that I'm at the center of the stud. Let's see. That's the center of the stud. Okay, now that's a little bit more in line with this thing, but all three of these are completely off. Let me straighten that out a little bit. So this stud finder, now I'll just leave it. This stud finder is a nightmare right now. How am I going to drill into the wood and know what I'm doing? Let's try this again. Okay, it's starting to show. When it beeps, it will be the center. The center. Now I'm over here. It's unbelievable. Okay, now I'm over here, which is a little bit off from the first three. Okay, so that's what we've got now. We've got four pieces of tape that are totally off, and I have absolutely no idea which one of these is accurate. Let's try this little piece of junk over here, which shows the center is over here now. It's nowhere near where these other two are. Maybe this is maybe it's a vertical beam. I don't know. Let's see. It's showing. Now it shows, I can't even get a reading right now. I have absolutely no idea what's in this wall. Now it shows that there is something going on over here, which is further away from all four of these pieces of tape. Let's try over here. This doesn't even register. This doesn't even, okay, now I'm getting something over here, which is where the pointer showed before, but there's some piece of metal over here now. I don't know what's in my wall. There's something over there. There's obviously something going on over here. That's the best mark of all. It shows the magnets over there. This is, I don't know what's in here. Maybe there are power wires that are going through here. There could be power wires. I think it's time to take out the other unit and see what's going on with that. Alright, so here's the unit that I just took out of the box. You can see the sensors over there, and I guess that slides across the wall and hopefully doesn't mar it up. There's a little bit of glue over there where the instructions were stuck on that I'll remove. And it uses two AA batteries that it came with. There's an arrow over here. So let's slide this up. Oh, that worked out nice. I slid it, and I guess the thing slides back. It slides up. Well, I can't really do this on the camera. Yeah, I guess I can. All right. I'm going to go put in the two batteries in here and then continue the video. All right, so I've got the two batteries in there. I will say one thing about that Zircon that I just showed you. That thing had batteries in it for 4 years. It had the 9-volt battery in it. This, I like that it uses the more accessible, cheaper AA batteries that everybody has. The Zircon uses a 9 volt, but I give it credit that it did hold the power for, there's a little tab, a little tang over there, and it slides in there. That's how this thing works. A nice little setup. So I give it credit that the battery worked after like 4 years or something. This is not sliding in easily. Hold on. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens just like you are. This has got a little power switch up here. I'm assuming that's what that is. Sorry about the bad lighting. So let me press this against the wall and see what ends up happening. I think you can see that on the... Okay, I've got 2 lights. Now supposedly when you hit the edge of a 2x4, it will light up with 3 lights, and when you hit the wide side, it will light up with 4 lights. So let's see. Okay, why are the 3 lights moving over there now? Okay, so I'm really mixed up here. I have absolutely no, I don't understand what's going on here now. Let's try this again. There are no studs. Now it shows that there's a stud, and it shows that the center is over here, which doesn't match any of this. Let's try this. It shows the center is over here, which doesn't match this tape. Let's try this again. It shows the center is over here, and let's try this and see what happens. It shows the center is over there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these readings again, and I'm going to reposition all of these tapes and see what ends up showing up. Because I might be hitting a cross beam or something. I don't really know what's in here. It's showing that I really need to get this piece of tape off of here, so hold on. Alright, let's start over again, strictly using this. Since this did not match any of the 4, I'm assuming that this is the right unit to be measuring with. So where is the center point? The center point's over here. Let's go up a little higher and try this again. The center point is over here. I just want to see what this is going to show and compare it to what the other unit was doing. Maybe the other unit was a good unit, because right now none of these tapes, the 2 tapes, are not lined up together. So I don't really know what's in the wall. Much more lined up than the other one was. Let's go a little lower and see what's happening with this thing. It could just be that there's double beams in here, which maybe is what's going on. I don't know. It doesn't help that these are big pieces of tape. To me, this looks a lot more lined up. I don't know where this thing's coming from. Let's try to do another reading over here and test this thing out. Might be 2 beams lined up or nailed together. It might be power. Whoa, that was fascinating. Let's try that again. That showed like it was a wide 2x4. This is cool. Okay, let's do this. Press the button. I just saw 2 lights come on over there a minute ago, and now they're not on. I don't understand this. All right. That's showing that there's a... Look at this. Can you see that? I don't even know if you can see that. Look at that. That's really throwing me off now. What the heck's going on in my wall? something's going on in this wall that makes absolutely no sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this is how we're going to do the test. I was taking apart my dad died a few years back, and I was taking apart his workbench today. And this is a very old workbench, and this is the top of it. And you can see, I mean, they don't even make things like this anymore. You can see how there are blocks of wood in between the top and bottom layer. Well, this should easily simulate what goes on inside a wall. This would be the wall board, and this would be the studs inside. So what I've done is I've marked off on the top with lines. This is the center of one of the little blocks. This is the center of the other little block. This is a stud. This is a stud. This is a stud. This is a wide stud. This is a stud. And this is just a tiny little thing that I cut in half. And there's a little edge over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the tool. I think this will be a really effective way to see, does this thing work and how does it work? So I'm going to take the tool, I'm going to put it on the center line, and let's see what it does. Okay, lots of lights are lit up now, as you can see. I'm going to slide this across. I'm assuming that it really works from the center point better, but let's just slide this across and see what happens. It's really confused. Okay, we've got three lights are on the left, and a lot of lights are over here, and none of those lights are really showing what's going on in there. So this, let's slide this across. This is definitely almost accurate because it should be 3 wide. It's not showing the center. This should be 3 wide. It's not showing the center of this because this should be 4 wide, and it is totally confused. It's completely confused. Let's try this. This is definitely showing the center now. This is the line over here and the line over here. That's showing the center. Let's slide this again. It's very confused. It's showing the center on this one. It's not showing the center on this one because this one is 4 or 5. Now it showed the center for a minute and then it went away. That is accurate right now. It's showing, no, it did show the center. It's still showing the center. The stud is over here, and this is accurate. So this part, good for this. It's working right now. That's still giving very odd readings to me. All right, I'm not a contractor, I'm not a construction person, so maybe I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but this thing is supposed to be really easy and very accurate, and I can't figure out what is going on in my walls. I don't know what is in here. I'm getting readings all over. You can see this tape. It's showing that there's stuff inside the wall. Absolutely none of it makes sense to me. I can't even tell you where the stud is, what the stud is, if it's the narrow edge or the wide edge of the board, or if it's doubled up. I don't know what's going on in here. I can see over here that this is where the wall board splits over here, and I'm getting lots of readings here. I don't know if this is supposed to pick up the density, not the nails, not the metal. I don't know what's going on in here, so I'm going to continue trying to figure this out. If this is an easy tool to use, I've spent about half an hour, 45 minutes on this, and if I had to drill a hole in this wall right now, I don't know what I'd be drilling into. So everybody seems to say that this is an incredible item for finding the studs in the wall. Well, I don't know what I'm finding here right now, so my review is not too good, but I'm going to continue. I'll shut off the camera and try to figure out what's happening here so I can report back if I'm taking this back or if I think it's a great tool. Again, Amazon and all these other sites, everybody says it's a great stud finder. I don't know. Maybe for the average person, it isn't. Alright, I was going to try to figure this thing out, and I was laughing so hard that I just had to turn on the camera and show you what's going on here. Okay, I put a sheet of white paper on the wall so I can start marking this thing off and try to figure out what's going on. This is what I'm dealing with here. And I'll admit, I don't know what I'm doing, but now I've got okay, so you see where that little X is? That's kind of showing me where the center is. And if I go down, that shows me that I still have, if I go to the left or the right, why am I getting why all of a sudden am I getting all these lights that are coming on? I'm still showing the center is very close to where that X is above. But I'm trying to figure out what's in the wall, and obviously there's a stud over there where that X is. And when I leave the area, that stud is gone. So the center of the stud is where the X is. But when I go down further, I'm still at the center. So the stud is over there. The stud is still showing at the center. But now I've got as I move over, I get all these lights. What the heck is this trying to tell me? I mean, I don't understand. The instructions are very basic, and how am I supposed to know what all these lights mean? Okay, I had to let go of the switch. I'll do it again. I would figure that it's just a very simple thing to do, but it isn't. At least, okay, now I got a bunch of lights over there, so I'm coming. Now I've got 4, so now I've got 5, 6, 7. How do you use this tool if what it's doing makes no sense to you? So I'm going to continue working with this. So far, I think the average person who is not a contractor or somebody who builds or opens up walls all the time would be absolutely lost with this tool. Okay, when I started this video, I didn't think it was going to take me all night, but I'm going to try to figure out what's going on here. So what I did is I used that cheapy little magnet to find out where the nails are. And I've got nails over where the blue tape is. I've got nails over here, a couple nails over here, nails over there, nails over there, nails over there, nails up there. And I've got some nails where you see the cross point over here, and here, and here. Now let me explain how studs usually work. Assuming that this is a 2x4, a 2x4 is really 1.5 by 3.5. So if the board is lined up like this and not like this, if the stud is lined up like this with the narrow edge, and they spaced it the standard spacing of 16 inches in the center, so you've got, remember we have the 1.5, the board is 1.5 inches wide, so it's 1/2 inch to the center and 1/2 inch to the away from the center for 1.5 inches, and same over here, 3/4 inch, 3/4 is 1.5. So if you have the on center of 16 inches between the two centers, you really have 16 minus 1.5 for the half spacing, and the half spacing would give you 14.5 between the studs. But obviously that's not what they did here, because these between these things, these markings, they're way off. They're 17 and something inches and 14 inches, and over here these are way off too. So I'm trying to understand this tool like an average person would understand it, and that's why this is taking me so long, because I want this video to make sense to people who are going to buy this tool. So far I have absolutely no idea what's in my walls. I don't understand any of this. I do understand that this is where the nails are, and this part makes sense, that a stud goes over here. But if you look at this, the stud goes over here, and then it zooms over here, and then it kind of stays straight up there, and stays straight up there, and stays straight over there. So I still haven't been able to figure out what's going on with my the precision finder that I just bought. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the yellow thing, I'm going to take this and I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with the AC in the wall and see if there's any metal in there, and then I'm going to try to find the center of the studs, and I'll mark it in a different color than the red over here. And then after that, then I will go to the full review and try to figure out where the studs are in the wall. And maybe this will help somebody who is in my position, having absolutely no clue what's going on with this thing. All right, back soon. All right, I thought this would be a perfect example to show you what goes on with these I get that constantly. I'm going to reset it off. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to move it. That's why a tool like this is just a nightmare to use. Now it's starting to work. Now it wants me to reset again. So it's very difficult to use this unit. You can see this blue line over here. It just gave me... Okay, let's try this again. It's going to read the center in a minute. The center, you can see it's almost... That's where it is. The center is over there. Which is completely off from where the magnet shows, which you can see the red line. So the center is right over there by the blue line. But if I want to try to find out where the center is going vertically, where the heck is this thing? It's over there. So it's very confusing, extremely confusing to use these tools, at least for a person who doesn't do this every day. All right, I'm going to have to finish the testing with the yellow unit, the Zircon, tomorrow because my battery died on this thing. You can see I was getting crazy readings. The center's here, the center's here, the center's here, the edge is here, edge here, edge here. Over here I got the center was over there, which was off from the magnet thing, and it looked like maybe that was the stud, but then the battery started going crazy over here. I thought I had something, and so right now I've got a lot of inconsistent readings. I'm going to go back and test out the original unit and see what happens. But so far I've been working on this about 2.5, 3 hours, and I couldn't tell you where any of the studs are. Okay, so I'm back to the unit here, and I'm trying to figure out where the stud is. Remember, this was where it showed me that there was a nail. The magnet went off. Okay, so I'm going to slide this sucker across, and we're going to see. Okay, it's going to light up 3, so I know exactly where the stud is. Now I know where the center of the stud is. That makes sense, but what in the world is this? What is this trying to tell me? I have absolutely no idea what any of this means. Why does it keep doing that? Why is it showing that the stud is really wide like that? I don't understand what's inside the wall now. It doesn't really explain to me what's going on. Let's test this one. Okay, I should be almost at the center. Okay, so I'm at the center. What I'm seeing is that the red is the magnet. The blue was the Zircon that I was using that was giving me really crazy readings. And so this seems to show me that I'm right at the center over there. I'm definitely at the center. But then why is this going on? So I'm still trying to figure this out. The average layperson would be completely lost unless I've got a broken unit, which I don't think I do. The average person would not be able to make sense of any of this stuff. Hey everybody, all right, I'm still trying to work on figuring out how this unit works. And the thing that amazes me is there are so many videos on YouTube talking about what a great item this thing is, and they're all nicely made videos, production quality, And I'm wondering, have they really used this thing? Because all they do is they say, all right, well, here's a stud, and here's a stud, and so it shows you where the center of the stud is. Yet, as I'm showing you here, I'm not getting accurate readings on any of this stuff. So I'm going to continue, sorry about the shadowing with the lights, I'm going to continue trying to figure out how this thing works and why I can't get accurate readings. But that's the point of this video, is to really understand what's going on. And every single video that I watched so far on YouTube, all of them said what a great item it is, and they don't prove anything. So I'm wondering, was this just to get views? And I mean, look at this thing right now. I'm going right across here. How in the world does this stud? Something's way off here. So I think you get my point. Once I figure this out, I'll explain it to you. Look at this. That just makes absolutely no sense at all. Anywhere that I come in where there's a stud, it just lights up all these things. There's no way the board is that big. So I will continue the video after I understand what's going on here, but use a lot of caution with the posted videos right now that say what a great item this is, and I don't know if they're doing it for views, as I said, or to score points, or if it's a promotional thing. Who knows? But I will continue this tomorrow, and that's all. Have a good night, everybody. All right, I think I'm just going to give up on this item here. Let me show you. I'm at another location, so I don't have metal insulation. I don't have metal inside my walls. It's just a standard condo wall. I'm going to show you what goes on here. Look at this. I press the button. I'll slide it across. Okay, so now if I would take this info, let me slide it over a little more. So this should be the center location. Center of the stud. Okay, but now we've got 4. Maybe we've got 4. So now the center is maybe over here. Now we have 5, so maybe the center is over here. Now we have 6. So the center's still pretty close. 1, 2, 3. The center's still holding up. Still holding up. Still holding up. 1, 2, 3. I'm in the center over there. I'm in the center over there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm in the center over there. When I started over here, I would look at this, it would say 4, so I would think the center is over here. But now I find out that's not really the center. The center is, the stud is bigger, so it is really over here. And then I find out the stud's maybe even bigger, so the center is over here. And then I find out that it stays consistent over here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, that's 6 lights. 6 lights. Let's take out the tape measure. 6 lights is going to come out to about 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be bigger than 2. So it's definitely not a 2x4 in there. I have absolutely no idea what's inside my wall. Maybe that is the center. Maybe that is the center, but I don't know. I can't really depend on this thing. I'm going to start over here, and let's try that again one more time. Okay. That's the center, 2. Okay, so that's the center, so that's really 3. Wait, it's 4, so it's over here. No, 1, 2, 3, now we're at 6, so we're over here. So we hold, this might be the center. See, my point is that I've got no idea what's going on here. I'm moving this thing down the wall right now. I don't have any readings over this way, so there's definitely nothing going in that direction. But from this direction, I really don't understand why I would have a board that wide on here. Maybe that makes sense. Whoa, and now I've got 3. Why do I have 3 now? Look at this. Now I've got 3, so the center is over here. The center is here, the center is here, the center is here, the center is here. Center is, nope, now we've got 4. Still holding the center. It's holding the center. But then when I drop down over here, now suddenly this board is, or whatever stud is in here, it's huge. So maybe I just don't understand construction. But I bought the stud finder so I could go in here, find the center of the stud, and pop a couple holes in here and be done. And this makes absolutely no sense at all to me when I've got all these lights flashing on and off. So maybe it is a great product, but my recommendation, I'm taking this thing back tomorrow. I wanted it to work. I definitely need a good stud finder, but I can't figure out what the heck's going on my walls. I've spent 3 hours on this just trying to make this a good, informative video. And again, as I said, if you do construction and you understand what's in a wall and you understand how the studs are put in there, good for you. But the average person who's buying this doesn't understand that stuff. And I would say this is not a good product because the instructions are very lacking. They don't even say which part of this area the sensor is located in. And as I move things up and down, I get different readings. And again, I was using this board as a sample, as I showed you before, which has different blocks inside there, and you can see where I should have, why am I getting all these readings when you can see with these lines over here where these are actual studs going across? Why do I get all these ridiculous readings here? And then readings disappear, and then readings come back. And I know this is based on density, but something's wrong if this tool is giving me all these ridiculous readings. So going back to Costco tomorrow, and if you're an average person like me, I would not recommend buying this. Maybe people have had a lot of success with this, but I don't know. I don't like it because it's not working. All right, hopefully this video helped you or saved you some money. Hopefully this video helped you or saved you some money. Do some thumbs up. Maybe I'll get some thumbs down on this. Subscribe. Go to my channel page and click on donate to support this channel. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, if you look at these lights over here, these LEDs, they're spaced 1/2 inch apart. So 6 of them would be 6 inches. 1/2, 1, 1/2, 2. No, it's not. Well, let's go over here. Let's go over here and do this. Okay, so you can see where it's the edge of the 3x6 or whatever. Now we've got 1 inch, 1/2 an inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2. See, okay. The thing's just all over the place. Okay, so there is, that seems to be about it. 1/2 inch, 1, 1/2 inch, 2, 1/2 inch. So it's 2 1/2 inches, which would mean it's a 3x6 board that is flat. And that could make a lot of sense. But why in the world is there a 3x6 board over there? And then let's go over here. Half inch, 1, 1/2 inch, 2. And then let's go down here. And it's not even show. Okay, let's see. There's the stud over there. So you can see how it's consistent with what it does. I will give it that. When I was wondering why did I have 5 or 6 lights, because it might be a 3 1/2 for a 4x6. So that makes a lot of sense. But nothing, this makes absolutely no sense. How am I supposed to know? Okay, so we've got 3 lights. You can easily figure out where the center is. And when you move it down, it's going to move. It's going to jump over to the next set of lights. So that part makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So you can figure out where your center is, even though looking at this right now, the center is off compared to that little center mark that I have on the wall. Look at that. It's just holding all the way. So if I would do that, I could be off by a little bit. Now I go up to here, and suddenly I'm at a 1/2 inch one. Doesn't even match my note. See, it doesn't even match right now. It's not matching what I marked before. The light on the left, okay, now the light on the left is on. Now the light on the left is off. Now something's really messed up there. So this might be a really good unit, or it just might be a broken unit that I've got, or I might have a huge mess in my walls. But it is unusable to me, and I'm sure that if I'm having this problem, lots of other people are going to have a problem like this too. And it might be, I don't know what's in the wall. I just don't know what's in the wall. I do want to go over to another wall, and let's do some testing over here to see if things are consistent. Okay, I'm right by the edge. Right by the edge, I should have a better reading than that. Unless, why is that, look at that. Why is it showing, okay, I know I'm at the edge of a wall, but why is it holding 2 and the lights aren't going off? And I'm still sliding across. What in the world is going, now it's showing 3, now it's showing 4, now everything's gone. That makes no sense at all. Okay, I'm going to keep sliding this, okay, now we've got 2 lights over here. We're going to get 3. Okay, it's holding the center. No, the center is kind of bouncing all over. No studs. No studs. Everything's clear. I'm probably going to get a 3x6 here with 5 or 6 lights any minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I think you get my point. This is a very difficult item to use, and that's the end of my review.